this shit, I'm out.
Ah, Star Wars, a once awesome sci-fi series now reduced to member berries and lore-breaking events. Ever since Disney bought the damn brand, it's been downhill since, with one, maybe two exceptions. From butchering everything you loved about Star Wars to adding things that didn't need to be added, Star Wars is just not as good as it once was. You want to see Obi-Wan go on an unnecessary journey that messes up the canon of Star Wars? No? Well, too bad, here you go. And here, take an unlikable Sith Lady character, who becomes a good guy at the end despite everything horrible she's done in the series.
This is the Outer Rim. You have no rights here. We're not under the Empire's...
The new Star Wars games aren't anything to write home about either. From every Battlefront game being a failure at launch to the new LEGO game being a huge letdown and creating such a toxic work environment, it even got its own name. PTTSD. Okay. And with a new release coming out soon, now's the time as any to talk about how this game is probably gonna suck. So, let's hop right into this dumpster fire. Of course, we don't get to see any gameplay footage or any interesting moments that make you want to buy the game, just some boring characters and cringe humor.
The right ship.
We follow our protagonist, Kves, yet another brunette woman who is somehow one of the best and is super special, who could take on anyone any shape or size, despite the fact that she's like 100 pounds lighter than the average stormtrooper. Did I also mention she is a woman? It also does not help that just like every other female character in video games, she's a flat-chested, ugly broad now, which is weird because the face model is actually quite attractive and is not built like a middle school boy. What is the deal with making women characters so unappealing when it comes to Western games? If it wasn't for Japan and indie games, I would have given up on video games a long time ago. Help me, Stellar Blade. Your gamer's only hope. With how boring Kves looks, it wouldn't be surprising if she was also pretentious too. While the story could be interesting in the hands of someone capable, it's ultimately going to be ruined because no one can write anything interesting anymore. Especially when it comes to Star Wars. You want to explore the Empire side of things during the original trilogy timeline? Well, guess what? That's only the first half of the game. The rest is you playing as the rebels, even though we already have done that a million times. You want to see a ruthless Mandalorian being a badass bounty hunter? How about we throw in a Baby Yoda so we can make him a glorified babysitter throughout the rest of the series? You want to watch a show where Obi-Wan has to stay on Tatooine and protect Luke like he's supposed to? Well, screw you. He goes off-world endangering Luke by not being there. And arguably making Obi-Wan partially responsible for the destruction of Alderaan for not killing Darth Vader. You know, the Empire's main reason why they have fear over people. What we got here is another bait and switch. For once, it would be nice to not have to play as a character who is affiliated with the Empire or the Rebels, because you know that's what they're gonna end up doing. She's probably gonna hate the Empire because they destroyed her life and or killed people she cared about like a mom or a dad. And at first, she doesn't trust the Rebels, but by the end of it, she's gonna be the most rebel-y rebel there is. I don't know, I'm just making predictions on past examples, so. I did find some gameplay, and honestly, it looks like it's going to be boring as hell. Another cover shooter with a lot of scripted moments that the game is gonna force you to play. Wouldn't it be cooler to play a Star Wars game where there were actual consequences depending on your actions, and you were free to do whatever you want? Well, we ain't getting that anytime soon. I'm telling you that much right now. Don't be surprised if they lock any content behind a DLC or a season pass too, so. Even though it's just a single player game too, it also needs to be online for it to work. Isn't that what kinda destroyed the Suicide Squad game? Yeah, it's also probably gonna limit what you can actually do in the game. It also just looks like it's gonna be repetitive as well. Not much else to say, but hey, let's hear what the people who worked on this game has to say about it.
Welcome to the Star Wars Outlaws Story Trailer Developer Breakdown. Today I'm going to give you more information about what you saw in the new story trailer, including details about new characters and criminal syndicates.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Kay Vess.
Across the Outer Rim, Kay will build her reputation and form tense and ever-changing alliances with each of these syndicates, which will offer varying gameplay and narrative opportunities depending on your actions.
How many times have we heard that lie before from gaming companies? All I see is overpromising. There is no way Ubisoft is gonna live up to everything this guy is saying.
I hire you because you are one of the best hunters in the Outer Rim.
Raised in the underworld, Vale has had a toe in every syndicate and has learned from each of them. Because of her experience, Vale is a formidable adversary for Kay. She can fight, pilot, hunt, smuggle, anything she needs to do in order to pull off a job and claim her back.
Oh wow, how original. A female antagonist who is literally the most skilled and untouchable badass that we have to deal with. She is totally not gonna be an annoyance.
Vess is mixed up in something bigger.
Kay grew up alone, fighting for scraps in the workers' district of Canto Bight, relying on her skills as a thief and Nyx to pull off small cons to get by. Kay has always felt that the galaxy is rigged against people like her, and has always dreamt of a life beyond Canto, where she does not answer to anyone.
Oh, join the fucking club, K-Vess. You think you're the only one struggling in a galaxy far, far away? At least you're not a slave like Anakin, and he wasn't even enslaved by a fascist empire. It was just this random asshole. Honestly, I'm getting sick of these Luke Skywalker, Han Solo ripoffs. Wouldn't it just be cooler to be a bounty hunter, or an Imperial soldier, or anything else other than someone affiliated with the rebels and is going to take on the Empire? I'm glad they didn't remake the Old Republic because they would have ruined it. Even the most normal gamers are not excited for this video game coming out soon, especially with the price tag of $130. What the fuck? There are still people running defense for this game, mainly for the character of Kay Vess and her appearance.
If you think Kay Vess is ugly, you are delusional.
Oh, come on. Kay Vess looks like my local crackhead I try to avoid when I just want to get some groceries. Terrible picture you placed up too. It's not really helping your case.
If Alien came out today, these morons would complain that Sigourney Weaver looks like a man.
Ugh, God, I hate this argument. If it came out today, it would be con-woke. No, if it came out today, we'd be like, oh wow, finally, a well-written female character who's actually likable. Nice! Also, are you implying Sigourney Weaver looks anything like this new chick? Sigourney is actually a babe. In fact, I heard people nowadays had a problem with her underwear scene in Aliens. But to be fair, this is probably coming from the same people who cheered on the Naked Leon mod for Resident Evil 4. So they're pretty much hypocrites. Oh, get a load of this guy.
I'm tired of ugly male characters in these video games. We need only beautiful people in our games because of fantasy purpose.
I'm telling you right now, no woman finds the twink on the right more attractive than the original model. You unironically made the argument that the far left does not understand what men and women actually find attractive. Most women prefer a man who's grizzled and looks like he can handle himself in tough situations, not someone that looks like they need a ride home after 2 umbrella drinks.
You know, we're so cooked as a society when grown men complain more about the sex appeal and looks of a fictional character, rather than the game having a predatory pricing and locking single-player content behind a paid DLC and a season pass model.
Oh no, we're complaining about that too. We also just are hating the character design. Team America puppet looking ass. We could do this thing called hating more than one aspect of the game. It's really not that hard. It actually helps us decide if we want something or not. Also, who are the ones losing their minds over the new Stellar Blade?
I think it's just men that's never touched a woman in their life, not knowing what they look like. And so they're like, this is what women in my video games always looked like. The Stellar Blade. She looks 14. And with the side ponytail too, girl. She needs a bow.
This is why Japan is kicking our ass in both video games and comics. Because we're listening to people like her. And not people who actually buy the damn thing.
I'll fucking bite a thread about making female characters in games. This idiot grifter, probably fiending outraged doughboy, really doesn't seem to get it, even apparently as a developer. TLDR, making the nuance of a gentler face can be a real tough one in video games and art.
No, it's not. Japan has proven time and time again it can be done. You're just intentionally trying to make them unappealing. There's no way in hell you are not purposely trying to do this. Unless you're incompetent and hired the wrong people to make your games. Then I guess that makes some sense.
There's a point in that dipshit's original post, in that men don't seem to be as edited as a female source. That's a whole fucking culture thing on top of the production. We forgive men for having structure in their faces, chiseled and sharp, and we gasp when women have a wrinkle. Case in point, when I worked on the Flora rework, there was a shit fit had by gamers when we gave her a unique face. One that was stylized, but one that showed structure. So much of a shit fit that we caved into demands. I did this paint over to make her more pretty. I was pissed about this, and to be transparent, the Splash team didn't want to make the change. Because there was such a small difference in the changes, but here we were, defending simply chiseling a woman's face who was supposed to be severe looking.
I can't tell the difference. They both look the same to me. Am I missing something?
And back to women, they are given a raw deal because gamers lose their shit when it's really the actor just not wearing makeup in the game. Shorts versus film TV context. Like dudes, I guess you just don't even know enough women to know makeup sculpts the face.
He does know Eve from Stellar Blade is modeled after a real woman, right? Attractive women exist. It's always the same comments. Have you even seen a real woman? Oh my god, incel. Yeah, we have seen real women, and most of them don't look like crackheads. Maybe in California, but that's because they're actually on crack. I hope this game fails and Stellar Blade succeeds, so I could just watch these people have a meltdown over it. Anyways, that's all I really got to say about the new Star Wars Outlaws game. It looks like another AAA game failure on our hands. Just another dying franchise being milked that Disney killed. Disney seems to be doing that a lot lately. Can't wait for those totally unbiased reviews though. Alright, this is Travis, signing off. Till next time, y'all.